we are back. I have to start again. Hey, guys. Welcome to Beyond the Box. We're here today with
Megan Fox.
Yes, again. She was dying to come back on. No. She's going to be my co-host today.
I am.
And there were some more questions that I wanted to ask you about energy work and what you do. And also, a side note, I wanted to just talk briefly about, I wasn't going to say anything about this, but as you know, when I started this podcast, I started it to be very authentic and talk about what I've learned. And so I learned a lot this weekend because I have kind of gotten back into the dating realm a little bit. And I'm just going to tell y'all what the lessons were that I learned. So in case someone wants to insert themselves in my story and go, yes, I'm very familiar with that. That'd be wonderful. You can comment and say, hey, I'm right there with you, sister. That's great. So anyway, I'm a little nervous about talking about this, but I'm going to just do a broad spectrum here for you guys. But I think on a podcast prior, I had said that, I'm learning and I'm taking, steps to heal. And then there are times when I do take 2 steps, maybe 3 down. And that is possibly what happened this weekend. So
It happens.
It happens. I did talk to Meg about it a little bit. And so anyway, that being said, I went out with somebody. He was very similar to my ex, possibly like the same person in another body. Mm-hmm. And I was aware of this. This is what's different. This is what's different, is I was aware of everything that I was doing. I was making choices that I knew were not correct. And so
was it almost like instinctual? Like did you almost like was it autopilot from previous relationship?
Well, I mean, kind of. I went on a date before that, all right? And the guy was great and we had great conversation, but it just we just decided to go separate ways, and it was very copacetic, and it was great, and I've got a good friendship out of it, and I was like, yes, I'm doing good at this game, I can do it. And then the second guy showed up, and I immediately had a lot of chemistry with him, like a lot of chemistry, and not so much compatibility as I figured out on the first date. Because on the first date, we got there, asked him a lot of questions. I noticed that he was very talkative about, talking about himself, but then he
Mimi
didn't ask anything about me at all. And I did take note of that. I mean, I was like, huh. I mean, I remember there were times where I would say, well, you want to ask me a question? Nope. Was not taking that bait, but so I was just filing it away, but at the same time, it was like, I had old wounds coming up where I was like, but I'm so attracted to him. And so let's just see how this goes, And so second date, same thing. And but he was getting a little more closed off, and I acknowledged, hey, this guy seems kind of avoidant,
Yeah.
And he's got some boundaries up, and I'm acknowledging this. But I'm still pushing forward because I thought, well,
you're in the pattern.
Yeah, it was
pattern.
just
It's a rut.
It was just so fucking familiar, and I was like, I can prove, myself easy. And so it just continued, and I just acknowledged all those red flags, but then just like stomped them down and went, you know what? I'm aware of this, and I'm okay. But I don't know. I failed that fucking test. I'll just tell you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I got 100 on that lesson, though. I'll tell you.
Sometimes that's...
I mean, a 100. I am never doing that lesson again because it is, I am confident that will never happen again. So anyway, there you go, folks.
So basically she followed
I'm human.
This pattern.
It is a pattern, and it's...
But you need to find out what triggers that pattern and why you keep going back to that behavior. with
Yeah.
the same over and over and over again. And you always,
Well,
there's a certain kind of guy with you.
oh, I have a type.
Well, yes.
But I'll tell you one thing too. I was just excited to finally meet somebody that, like, you know, had good conversation with and very witty and attractive. And it was like, oh my God, I haven't felt that in so long. So again, I was like, you know what? There are red flags. I'm fine. I can push through with this. But I crashed and burned.
Well,
it was
if
bad.
he checks all the physical boxes,
Yeah.
that's where you tend to, and there's also, if he checks all the physical boxes and then also even checks some of the like over the top Mimi qualities, like it's for some reason that's like something you like go after, you know, like that, like he was talking about himself.
Well, and I thought, you know what? I can fill in these spots. I mean, if we don't have anything to talk about, I can always make a conversation with somebody. I don't have a problem with that.
Did he ask if you had kids?
No.
Did he ask anything about you?
No.
That's a sign.
It is a huge sign. And
Where's my red? I need
well,
to have like props, red flag.
I was well aware of that. It is. I was aware of it. It was like a 6-hour date. But I mean,
what would you have done before, do you think, differently? Like whenever, before you've, like now you, because I think that is a big deal that you recognize it, and at least now after,
I
after
fell
just
into
2
old
dates.
patterns. I had some alcohol. And so the alcohol
The
would
story unravels
Yes.
further and further.
I mean, we were at a bar, so what do you expect? I mean, you know, I'm not going to drink water. But
Well, it does, I guess, to be fair, I mean, I guess that would.
it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was, that first date was back and forth pretty good, you know, and I was just like, oh, I'm vibing with this. It's fun. I'm okay, you know.
Well, it's probably less, you're also probably less apt to, like, do what you need to do if the red flags pop up, if, like, 7 out of 10 things are good.
Right.
You know, like if that first one went super well, then you're like, yeah, but do I have to just because of
yes,
the other?
totally, because I just didn't want, I wanted just to see where it would go.
But it's
And
good that you recognize that the things that weren't aligning were important enough that they kind of overcome the
Yeah,
the other ones.
I feel like I've gotten better because in the past I would just beat myself down. You know, it'd be like, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Just, but now, you know, I did do that for a little bit, but then I also said, you know, this is not bad. I like bounced back after 3 dates. You know, whereas before it was 2 years. So,
a huge improvement.
yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
So what? Has he contacted you?
Well, yes and no. Yes, just to check on me, and
Okay.
and then no, not after that. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's perfectly fine. I'm telling you, I've learned this lesson. Mm-hmm. And to check,
Yeah, just you need like a refresher.
may come back in a couple of months and eat my words. No. So no.
No, this is it.
It's okay. I mean, I'm telling you all this just to let you know that, you know, you can heal as much as you can yourself, by yourself, but when you start to put yourself out there with someone else, it is a test. It's like, well, here's the test now. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I pass, you know, everything that I've learned. And it is hard. I mean, to not fall into familiar things, but you know, it gets easier each time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be dating.
It's not pleasant.
No.
Yeah, y'all can't commiserate
No.
with me because you're not in it.
No, we're not in it. But you know, even just back when I was in it, that was terrible. It was terrible, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine with all the social media and the ghosting and all that stuff that I hear about. And especially
The ghosting is just it's immature on such a level. But
Yeah.
I do get it, because if somebody is playing that game, they just
well, they're
I
not
don't wanna-
emotionally mature enough to be able to.
I don't want to say they don't know any better, but it's like that's just the easy way out.
It is.
It's you know.
It's like when we first got cell phones, then they could text you. They could break up with you with a text.
Right.
Or they could just, now it's like they can text or they can, block you on social media and never talk to you again. Like make it so you cannot even find them.
Right.
That's creepy.
It's not only rude, it does so much damage to the other person, but the thing about it is the person that's doing it is just as damaged. So so it's like this game that everybody plays, and then you get to a point where, like, with myself, I feel like I'm aware of all this stuff. Granted, I did take a step back, but I do feel like I'm aware of all this stuff, and the reason that I know that I'm getting a little bit better about it is because I'm lonely at times, but I'm alone, and I'm okay with being alone. Mm-hmm. There are times where I get lonely, but before I would sit in that loneliness, and you ruminate in it. When you're single, it's just like you're like, I'll never find anybody. It's horrible, and and you go down this horrible path. Now I'm like, I'm alone and I'm okay, and I'm gonna wait. Mm-hmm. Until
I'd rather be alone than be with someone. Ugh.
Yes, especially
That's always
after
how I felt.
After you've been married.
Yeah, I say after you've been married and
and you're in a horrible relationship.
Well,
it is.
Yeah,
misery.
My marriage is good, but even a good marriage, when you have, every marriage has issues, but even in a good marriage, like, if something were to happen to him and I was single again, I don't know if I'd be like my great grandma. I'd be like, I'm good. I think I've had that fun. I can travel with my girlfriends. I'm good.
Maybe. How long have you been married?
18 years this month.
God, it's a long time.
Mm-hmm. And we've been together for 21 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, a lot of our marriage is actually good. He travels, he tours, so he's gone all the time. So it makes it, it's actually easier. Good because I'm a very independent person, like extremely. Like I don't need to have a companion. Like I like to choose it. So that's kind of the difference. Like I know a lot of people who, like a lot of clients that will come to me who've lost husbands, and there's two types. Well, there's the ones who are like they want a man so bad and they're just so like desperate. I'm like, just. Well, they want someone to complete them. And with me, I'm always like, that's a sign that you aren't comfortable being in your own skin alone. Because
totally.
I lived alone before I met my husband, and I'm very independent when it comes to like raising our kids. Like I have no problems with when he's gone. I can take care of it. It's not always easy. There's things I wish I had another person to go pick up somebody from something, and but it doesn't. I don't know. I've always felt that if you're 100% comfortable with saying, you know what, if I don't find someone, I'm good. I have friends. I have people who love me.
Right.
That's when you're going to find someone because you're fine with not being with anyone.
Yeah.
That makes it makes you more desirable.
Well, you're putting out an energy of I'm okay with myself, whereas before, like I would probably put out energy like just pick me, please, And I think a lot of people do that, and they're not aware of it.
Yeah, they call it the pick me girls. Shout out to Alyssa. She taught me that one. Her daughter. She has a daughter, and I have sons, and I don't know what a pick me girl was.
There's definitely something to that you want a person not need them, right? Like that it's not such a desperate of a need, and more
you want someone that compliments you, someone that you can build with,
adds to what you already have. Versus, I mean, the completing them thing. I understand that analogy and thought process because we talked about before, like having a partner that kind of balances you out, for example, in important ways. But I guess that's kind of the idea. I guess when you think about completing someone, but also understand.
Well, there's a negative annotation to completing you as well, because that means you're walking around and you feel like half.
Right.
You're just like, I'm just not complete. I need someone to help me, to heal me. Mm-hmm. And, I think a lot of people go into relationships like that, and it's like a recipe for disaster.
You need to have like a whole episode on dating, like in your 50s and 60s and beyond. Like,
Oh my God.
because it's different.
It's a lot.
But it's different. I would say.
Maybe
I don't know. If
Or
it's
even like
different.
you.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've got a lot of knowledge behind all that.
But and I mean, my thing is too.
But-
I mean, I know people who, 40s, who've either lost their husbands
I was going to say there's got to be a lot of,
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot
I
of people in
mean-
that scenario for one reason or another.
and it's a lot of different.
But also a lot of people
viewpoints.
too that have been married for a long time. If they get divorced or whatever, they're used to being married. So it's like, they may say, "Oh, I want to just be single for a while," but to me, I don't think that lasts. I think inevitably,
Unless you're my great grandma.
unless yes, I'm your great grandmother, but
She didn't want to. Nope. People try to hook her up all the time. No, thank you.
well,
That's the husband.
but it could be her age as well.
She was. I mean, I don't think she was very old when they got divorced. I'd have to ask my mom, but no, she was. She just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Now there was a lot of issues. There was a lot of issues in the marriage, like some
Right.
drinking and things like that. But that's not everybody. She just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we kind of all in my family, like from her down, are a little more like that.
Yeah. I think what happens is you get a divorce, then you're like, I'm free. And then you go through a wild period and you're like, oh, this is great. I'm going to date.
That's an
and all
episode
this.
right there. I got to
Oh
hear
my
about
God.
that.
Yeah. And then,
Woo.
they get tired of it because they're like, well, this sucks. This is definitely grass is not greener. And so then they jump right back into another marriage, and the marriage is different, but just as hard, because second marriages to me are complicated because now you're dealing with ex-wives
Extended
and
family stuff. Yeah.
kids,
Blended.
other person's kids, and
Blended families.
it's just a lot of baggage that you've got to layer on to, if you haven't healed that hurt from the first marriage. I am not talking from personal experience at all. Anyway,
No.
I just realized halfway through it, I was like, well, I'm just telling my life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyway, let's talk about you.
Okay.
Okay.
Since your date, all he did was talk about him. Let's talk about me now.
Let's talk about you. Because, so Meg is a travel agent, which we had talked about before. And so
Owner.
She's the owner.
Of a travel agency.
Yes.
And I am a travel advisor.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm more interested in
the spiritual
yes.
abilities.
I wanted to know because
Let me get my hands back on that.
she's listen, I'm fascinated with anything and as I've gotten older, I've always been like this. I like psychics and I like tarot readers, and I find it fascinating just to like pick your brain, because it's just, I don't know. I don't see it as something that's bad. I think that people can use it and rely on it like such a crutch that it's not good, because I do believe in God. But anyway, that being said, I wanted to know what you thought the difference was between a psychic, a channeler, clairvoyant, or a medium. Like, I'm curious.
Oh, okay. Not sure what a channeler is. I mean, I'm assuming a channeler is somebody who.
I mean, they just channel like from God. Like, this is what I'm hearing.
So
right?
that's any. Okay, so a medium. The word medium is just, it's like a middleman. So you've got the other side, which is the whole other side. That means God all the way down to the spirits, all the way into where we can tell if it's something dark or not. That's the thing. If you look at Corinthians, we were born with the gift of spiritual discernment. That's what a medium is. We know which spirits come from God and which do not. And so, like, I know right away, they can't hide from me. They can't disguise themselves. They can't trick me. So that's part of the ability of being a medium that is underhyped, and kind of like that's you don't know who you're talking to. You're probably talking to the devil. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not, because I know which ones they come from God and don't. Like, I know right away. I know from a distance. I can know from someone's house. If they call me, I'll be like, I'll ask a couple questions, but then I'll like kind of send my feelers out, and I'll know if it's something dark in their home, and they can't hide it from me.
So what's a psychic then?
So psychic ability for me personally is making a connection to what's going on in people's lives right now. So like I can look at someone's spouse or their children. I always say I have like narcissist radar. So I always know, like almost like a dog can smell another dog on someone. I can sense when someone has had a narcissist in their life. Like I just know it. Clairvoyance is just a form of, it's a clair. So there's different clairs. There's clairvoyant, there's clairaudient, I'm claircognizant, clairsentient, there's like
what are
olfactory. Everyone has them all. Every medium has them all. But there are stronger ones. It's kind of like, I don't know how to compare it, but you have them, but it's like muscles. Okay. We're all born with all the same muscles, but some muscles we tend to like favor some muscles are strong. You know how I can do like the abductor. Abductor's really, really strong. But then like I can't even do a push-up.
Yeah.
So like I have all the muscles to do both, but I'm stronger in my legs. So that's the same thing with clair. So I'm a clairvoyant is the strongest. And I would say claircognizant maybe because I just know stuff. So it just comes to me. So like
So did I ask you last time how this even came to be?
Real quick, for people that either didn't see the first episode maybe or that kind of thing, would you explain very general surface level first what you do as it pertains to this, and then we can kind of get in.
So typically people call me who've lost loved ones or just need some guidance. And we all have guides in our lives. God gives us guides. We have one that, we're born with and is with us our whole life. There's some that come in and out. These are spirits that you've never met. They're not necessarily angels. Angels are for everyone. They're God's foot soldiers. They work for God.
God's foot soldiers. I love that.
Yeah. They're here to support our world and like our traumas and our achievements. I mean, they're there for all of it. And there's several of them. There's hierarchies, just like it talks about in different biblical, like theologians have studied it, I assume, because there's hierarchies in angels. I've seen it. So they have there's arcs and but there's different levels too, beyond what we probably even know. And they're all around us all the time. And they get very heavily concentrated, especially around like a mother who lost a child, which is like the worst pain you could ever feel. Fathers too, but there's something about a mom losing a child that it's almost like it's a different grief than even a father. They're just different. They're equal but different. And so they also they're heavy around addiction. When people have addiction, because that's a disease you're born with, and I tend to see lots of them around addicts, but I also see the dark ones around addicts too. That's why they're constantly trying to get to these people who are struggling with addiction.
Dark entities? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They're kind of like suckers. They like starfish on your back. Like there's, like I said, there's hierarchies of angels, but there's also hierarchies of demons. So you have different levels of them. The highest levels are pretty much not anyone we know. They're like up where there's money and power. And then lower down, you have a lot of like lower level ones, but they see addiction, they see mental illness, they see loss of faith in God and turning from God. They see all of that as like an Achilles heel weakness. So they feed on it.
Yeah.
And so that's like, they're everywhere. People are always like, "Ooh, spooky." I'm like, well, you can pretend they're not around, but they're everywhere. Yeah. Just like angels are everywhere, spirits are everywhere. It's all energy. It's how you protect yourself.
So how do you turn up your intuition to where you can, is it intuition? Just to where you can kind of like feel
Everyone has intuition. Mine's just, so basically I just have a stronger hotline to heaven. So it's
okay, so answer that question about how you came to be. Like how did this even...
When I was little...
and was it in your family?
Not that I know of like someone telling me, but I've had it been told to me spiritually that it was in my family, and it's from my mother's side. My great grandmother the one I was just talking about.
Yeah.
She was very similar to me in a lot of ways, including that. I don't know. I don't know if she ever knew what it was. She didn't practice it like I do.
Right.
In that sense, like she didn't see people.
So she never said anything to you, like.
No, I don't even think. See, the thing is, I didn't even know until I was in my 30s what it was. It's like sometimes you just don't know.
Well, when did you just wake up and go, oh hey, this is strange?
Actually, it was I took courses on hypnotherapy, and it was my teacher's wife who kind of sparked it. She was kind of showed me what it was, and it's been since then. I also had my Reiki teacher. She kind of opened that up a little more. I mean, it was kind of a
like how? I mean, what did she?
Honestly, Lana just told me, close your eyes and what do you see? And I started describing someone she knew that passed. And that's kind of where it started.
Oh, weird.
And I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was just my imagination because I thought it was all just stuff playing.
Yeah.
You were feeling at that moment, basically?
Yeah, and I've had that stuff going on in my head for so long.
So how do you shut it off? Because I mean,
well, you never really shut it off.
like when we go to Lifetime, you're like the mayor of Lifetime. You're all over the place. Hey, how are you? How are you? So so there's a lot of bodies in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. Do you have
It's
a kill switch? Do you shut it off
I
when
just
you walk in?
I
or-
don't. Yeah, it's more like I turn it on. That's a better way to look at it. Like you know, I can sit in my car, but I can turn it on. It's not always running. That's more how it is. So I can turn it on versus turning it off.
Okay.
It's kind of I don't know.
When you're walking around Lifetime, like it's not something that you have clicked on in that moment because there's not really a need to. You're just at Lifetime. Or
Yeah, like if I'm at a Lifetime, like sometimes randomly I'll sort of like feel something coming or feel someone around someone and I'll kind of space out. That's when Angie's like, "Who's talking to you?" Because like I kind of will feel someone.
who's talking?
And,
That's funny.
and you know,
Angie says that? That's hilarious.
yeah, well she do. I was like, because I was like, I can just sense somebody. I'm like, look, I can feel someone around someone, or they're trying to get to my attention. But they've learned that I'm not going to walk up and start massaging someone's shoulders anymore than I'm going to walk up and start telling them about their, passed away loved one.
Right.
It's just not appropriate. And some people are,
You're not like, who's the chick with the big hair?
oh, Teresa Caputo. Yeah.
She just walks up and
Well,
says,
and she's a known one. So people see her coming. They know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Me, they're going to be like, what? And there's religious things about that too. And I'm respectful of that. I mean, I am a Christian.
I was going to say that was one of my questions was,
And
do
some
people
people-
judge you
Of course.
or think that you work for the devil,
Of course.
Earlier you were talking about like that sometimes you'll get the feedback that you're working with like demonic forces, and your point is that there's kind of both of them going on at the same, or there is both of them going on at the same time. So it's not really.
I mean, it's a good versus evil, I think.
Always. That's
Yeah.
even humans.
Yeah.
But that's feedback I would assume that you'd be getting from religious people that you're working with the devil and that kind of thing. Like you're not.
I've heard some. I mean, there have been comments and behind my back and things like I've heard that people will be like, "Oh, I don't know, that seems," and it's like, you think what you want. I'm comfortable with my relationship with the Lord, so I have no qualms with doing what I do.
How do you, with the religious aspect too? I would imagine that this is very hard to communicate to people that don't have like a spiritual background or aren't. I don't want to say religious, but like if a person is actively not, if a person doesn't actively even
Skeptics.
well, like if a person like an atheist, for example, they don't even believe in God, much less like an active battle that's going on between spirits upon humans, physically. So I would assume that there's just not a whole lot of headway you can make with those kind of people when it comes to these kind of conversations, right?
If they're completely shut off to any
Anything
type
even
of
existing.
then no.
Yeah.
There's nothing
So
I can
then
do for 'em.
past that, then you have people that do believe. Mm-hmm. Where does the filter start to come in there? Where you have people that do believe in God or whatever religion that it is they believe in, and then maybe like myself, I wouldn't say that I prescribe to a particular religion, but I do have a spirituality about me. Despite not prescribing to a particular religion, I would be inclined to believe in everything that you're saying. So that it's interesting because you have people that do believe in those things, but also would also.
I mean, some people are open about it. Some people are not.
it's a
They're
whole wide
just-
That's kind of what I'm saying. Is that like
Yeah,
depending, and it may be because they don't believe at all. Or
There's a
maybe-
huge spectrum when it comes to what I do and what people feel about it. Like I've had some people that I was shocked were like, I'm not going to judge what God does with people and what gifts he gives them because they don't the part in the Bible that talks about us is Leviticus. It talks about mediums and how we should be stoned to death. But I always remind people, you do realize that in that same book, you're not allowed to eat meat with blood in it. You're not allowed. I mean, we break about 5 of those and so I say,
I think there's a lot of conservative Christians that don't. They think that's bad, and that's
their prerogative.
Of the devil.
My thing is, you don't have to come and see me. I don't solicit myself at all. Everything I get is referrals. I've had hundreds and hundreds of sessions, and they've all been referrals. I've never once advertised or marketed myself at all. And so, if you don't want to come and see me, that's fine. I'm not worried about people judging me anymore. I did it first. I was very concerned about it. And I remember I was so upset. And I remember hearing God's voice saying, "What are you afraid of?" Right. And I remember telling specifically, his voice. Like it's not like any other spirit, obviously. And I said, "I'm afraid of judgment." And he said, "Of whom?" And I said, "Of people." And he said, "But not of me. So carry on." Yeah. And since then, I've just been like, okay. I mean,
it's like people speaking in tongue. Right?
I guess spiritual gifts are, yes. I mean, that's in Corinthians 2. It's like there's different spiritual gifts that are given. There's also physical gifts that are given. I have friends that have beautiful singing voices. That's a gift from the angels. Like literally that's an angelic gift. Mm-hmm. The creation of music, because angels have beautiful singing voices. I've heard them. They're nothing, even human voice, nothing compared to angels, but they'll gift a piece of that. Doctors are gifts. That's a gift to be able to go and heal someone or bring someone back from the dead, basically, which is that would used to be considered necromancy, which was, but see, Christ did all those things. And he said, "You will do all I have done and more." So that's what I remind people of if they actually want to have a conversation about it and why I feel like 100% comfortable doing this work. Yeah. I help people with grief. I help mothers with grief. I help, parents, children who lose their parents too early. I mean, I've helped kids as young as like 9 years old with stuff. So
people that have already passed, not necessarily future.
I don't do a lot of future. Future to me, yes, I'll get some things. Like occasionally I'll know if someone's going to have a baby or I'll know, but I don't know when someone's going to pass away. That's only God knows the full future. Nobody needs to know their future. Yeah. There can be encouragement. I can see pathways. So I can see one way or another way. Like if someone has a big decision they're making, I don't know which way to go. And I'll say, well, this way is, a lot of times we'll see it in colors. Mm-hmm. And I'll say, this way is going to be a lot worse. Like I'll see green. That's going to be better with money. This is going to be better. It'll be red, better for your heart. So like emotionally better for you. So I can tell them that and they can kind of make that decision. And it's usually something they already know. So prophetic stuff, that's what prophets were or are. Prophecy is a very different thing than psychic to me. I've met some extremely psychic people that I've helped mentor a few of them that know what you're doing that day, like in your living room, and can describe it. That's psychic to me because that's not
really functionally at all the same thing as prophetic.
No, prophetic is more a future. And it's fragmented. Have you never noticed that even more modern prophets? And this is another biblical argument people have. Oh, you can't, there's no modern prophet. Yes, there are. They didn't just suddenly stop, 10,000 years ago. I mean, there have been prophets.
The prophetic ability is similar to, or is just another ability in the line of abilities that you're describing, basically.
Yes. So mediums, okay. The label medium, because we'll just call it what people seem to want to call it, and it got a bad rap because of Leviticus, but the label medium is literally I have a lowered veil, like right here, lowered veil to the other side. So I can see, hear, feel things, whether it's, spirits, future, present, it's a lot more available to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when we were talking earlier about how, about the woman who had you do the visualization and then you described somebody that had passed.
Yeah.
So before that, and you said growing up, that it always happened, but you didn't really know what it was until you were in your 30s. Yeah. So basically you had you were having these visual experiences. I'm trying to practically visualize it myself. So you're having these visual, auditory, all these different experiences where you're interacting with the spirit, for lack of a better term, with the spirit world. And that was kind of happening your entire life, and then this put kind of like a definition to what was going on type of deal, and you're like, oh, this is what it is.
Yes. You're always very drawn to other spiritually gifted people too. You tend to like want to see them on TV. You want to read their books. You want to you're very drawn to it. Now that doesn't always mean everyone who's drawn to it has this ability, but it's like since I was little. Like,
did you immediately embrace it, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little worried about the whole judgment thing, but
right.
you know,
But I mean, you were like, okay, I can make a living doing this, and I can help people, or was it
more help people? You don't, unless you're obviously like a Teresa Caputo, you're not going to make a huge living off of it.
Which is why you don't even really try to.
Yeah, it's just more of a.
Do you have a website?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
I do. I've had one since 2017. But you tend to like, so that's why I own a travel company with my partner, because that's where I make money. That's my actual, business. This is more of like
service to other people.
Yeah. I mean, I do charge for my time.
Yeah.
And I have a bit of a sliding scale for, people who don't have a lot of money, or they, grieving widows, and, I have a sliding scale, but it's, I typically, it's an exchange of energy. So when if I spend 2 hours exhausting myself talking to spirits from the other side, it's like that takes away from all the other things that I could be doing. So that's the only reason I even charge.
Do you find that women that are coming, like you say, widows, do you find that they're coming for closure, or are they coming for like what are they coming for?
I mean, there's a lot of different reasons people come. Sometimes it's...
And do they get the closure?
Sometimes.
Real quick, I was going to add on to that, because that's basically what I was going to ask too. And I was just going to say, like we were talking about the experiences that you have, whether it be a visual or something that you hear. Basically, what you're doing for other people now, if I'm visualizing it correctly, is you're kind of directing that ability towards whatever it is that they've brought to you. So, like if they've lost a husband, you're directing your ability to see, hear, experience, feel, whatever it is that their subject matter is, and then you're kind of like relaying that information back to them. Is that?
Well, also,
sorry, not to ask you 100 questions.
Well, no, that's okay.
No. Also, when this happens, okay, because this is now I'm thinking about myself. Like when my dad passed, I would go and talk to somebody.
Did you ever figure out what that baseball thing was?
I do remember the baseball thing, but this wasn't. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Frank.
Okay.
And he had said at the very beginning that it takes a minute for once someone passes over to like get acclimated, I guess, in that. So I don't know if they're in purgatory. I don't know what's going on, but they have to get acclimated in order to like be able to communicate.
I think a lot of our religious texts, like, whether it's Catholicism or in any religion, honestly, they have different words for different things. I
mean, do you find that, like, when widows come and they're like, my husband just died, and what is he? How is he?
So, well, like the word purgatory, it's just like my life flashed before my eyes when I pass. Those actually have like a root to them. So what you're asking me is yes. So sometimes they take a little bit to be able to communicate, but not always. I've had it to where right away. It just depends on the person. I really do. Okay. I think also it depends on maybe how they passed. And, it's just like, it's like when we're born, some babies are born crying right away and some are not, it's like some aren't breathing, some are, it's like you have to, it just depends on how they pass and who they are, what their personality was like. A lot of times if it's someone who was fully aware that they were going and they were sick and they were terminal for a while.
Like my mom.
Yeah, dementia is interesting, that people with dementia and Alzheimer's, even before they pass, they come in and out of the body. Like sometimes I'll get someone in my room that's not passed yet, but they have Alzheimer's and dementia because their brain, the brain is what connects the soul. Yeah, because like you have chakras in your body. So right here is this is to God, to heaven. So your brain,
crown chakra.
This is to the other side. This is what keeps your soul in your body. So if this is not doing well, that's when you come in and out.
Yeah.
And so I'll sometimes get them in my room when I'm doing a session for someone, and I'm like, well, they're here. They might not have, their bodies might not have passed, but their souls are kind of
I mean, I talked to a lady who does this for me, and my mom totally hijacked my whole my whole session. She was like, "I hope you don't mind." I said, "No, it's fine. It's fine." I mean, like,
Yeah, there's some hijackers.
she had a lot to say, and it was great. It was great. She had just died, so
Okay, yeah. See, that's my thing. It's like, but I have noticed that, and I'm,
Just to be clear, you're talking about you went to communicate with your father, but instead you communicated with your mother.
No, I've been doing this for a while. No,
she's a medium psychic hopper.
This
is another woman who she's I don't know, she's in North Carolina. I love her. She's great. And I was asking her just about me in general, and my mom had passed, and my mom came through and had a lot to say to me because she had dementia for so long, and I wasn't able to really communicate with her for 10, 15 years.
The funny thing is they typically remember all of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like they're watching it. Like, it's almost they have the whole memory of it, but and that's why I tell people when they have to put their mom in a place like a home or something or assisted living, they get so pissed off, and I'm like, they will.
Oh, she was so angry.
They forgive you every time when they cross over because they realize that you did it for them, that they would have hurt themselves. They don't know that they don't know, you know, like they're not aware. Alzheimer's, they literally just. Your brain slowly shuts. It's almost like Benjamin Button, you know, like it's like, but you're going back in time, just like that. You're going back in time. And so you start to not, but the difference is with the movie and this is that you start like, say you're 85, you just start to go younger and you start to forget everything or everyone that happened before that.
It was
and then you go, that's Alzheimer's. Dementia, from what I've seen spiritually,
she didn't have Alzheimer's. She had
dementia's a different thing. Dementia is more like they get a little more frustrated and angry. I've noticed, not all the time. I'm not a end of life care or whatever, but caregiver. So I don't have a whole lot of reference other than what they show me from the other side, and that's that dementia. They get really angry at first because they know they're forgetting stuff, and it pisses them off, and then.
Yep.
Over time, they just sort of they stop remembering that they're forgetting, and then they get mad when people are like telling them, you can't drive first.
It depends. I think it depends on the personality. My mom was very independent in her younger years, and then in her dementia state, she carried that through. I mean, she was angry, and it was awful.
Well, and sometimes their personalities. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. That's my thing. They'll be angry because they don't realize why people are taking away their independence. Like, why are you taking away my car? Why are you taking away my home? Why are you taking away?
We got really good.
I can go to the bathroom on my own. No, you can't. You need help. And so that's where like dementia and Alzheimer's kind of are different, I guess.
Yeah.
In the way, but so
it affects everyone.
But to answer your question, no, they're not all spirits. Right when they pass away, are just. They can't talk. But Frank is right. There is like a time frame where sometimes they won't come through.
Right.
But
So that's just always been in my head is I just need to wait a little bit because my mom and my dad have passed. So I went to see someone different for my dad, and then 10 years later, then my mom died. So it was there was
You were asking earlier about her. Did you feel closure from that experience?
I felt yes.
What did you feel? I mean, you said it was a kind of
it was different. With my dad, I felt reassured. I felt because I wasn't there. He died of a massive heart attack, and I was at the beach with my kids, and so it was like it just was so out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it, and so I did feel, I don't know if it's closure. I just felt reassured. I was like, okay, he's good.
Did he smoke cigars?
No. He had blockage. He had like a 90% blockage in his neck.
What was that? Oh,
and
that's pretty bad.
And he was under a lot of stress at the time, and he had prostate cancer, and it was a lot. It was a lot. Anyway, and with my mom, it was different because, like I said, she had dementia for 10, 15 years. And so it was almost like in my mind, she had died so many years ago. And so when she came through, it was different for me because I had already felt like she had died. So it's not that I was sad when she actually died. I was, because that process.
You had the 2 deaths.
That process was shocking to me. It was shocking just to even.
Yeah, it's a 2 death
see
passing.
it.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I was kind of like disassociated from it. My emotions weren't as strong as they were with my dad for some reason. I guess because I just wasn't expecting it with him.
Yeah, that's
Does that answer
different.
your question? I don't know. It's kind of.
Yeah, it does.
I guess I had closure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a window
different
into
grieving patterns.
I was glad that my mom was, because she came through and said, I'm at peace now. I'm happy. I'm not, like, in this life, she was, even before the dementia, she was depressed, and I felt a strong, like, emotional component to have her be happy. I tried to help her a lot, and suggest things, and it felt like my job. And so she just wanted to let me know that she didn't have that sadness anymore. So that was like, that's good. Made me kind of feel good about it. So
Makes sense.
anyway, I was going to ask you too. So what do you think about like reincarnation with souls? Do you feel like once they pass over that people are reincarnated into another life?
That is a loaded question, and it can be very complex.
Well, because when you talk about, I'm sure you've talked about like you were this in a past life kind of thing.
So past lives, okay, there's the whole reincarnation thing it comes from the Buddhist practice. So and there's a lot, like in every religion, there's a lot of commonalities and truths. And like I was telling you, there's different words for different things. Like purgatory is a Catholic word. Even the Catholicism is a Christian religion, but they have like a different word for it. Huh. There's different words for, demons. There's different words for all the same kind of thing. And so with reincarnation, it's like, I see it. Yes, I can't deny it. I was raised Catholic, so I was raised that, this is it. And then you're in heaven permanently.
That's what Christianity would believe as well.
So that was it's always been a hard one for me, because that's where people get really like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not in the Bible. And I'm like,
yeah,
but that's what I've seen. I've seen it. Like, I can't deny what I've seen. I've even seen my own. Like,
either people believe it or they don't,
and it's
think
fine.
you're crazy.
You don't have to believe it, because it's just like anything. You don't have to believe it. Doesn't make it not real.
But do you believe it?
So yes, I've seen it.
Well, you're talking about the different wordings, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but kind of what you're implying there, or what you're inferring to, is that like that word may not fit exactly right, but there's something about that experience of having lived multiple times, like that is true that you've experienced.
Your souls are eternal.
Yes, is a way to. Yes.
Christ showed us that our souls are eternal.
So we're never going to die.
Well,
I am going to get into another body. Try this again.
It's a little work.
That's what I'm saying. When you get into like that strict of a definition,
I'd like to skip the 20s though, if I could do that. Just like jump right into.
It's not part of the cart. It's like
if you do go back, you're coming back.
People always say, "I don't want to come back," or I'm like, it's not really an option for you. You kind of have counsel on what you want to do. Like I said, it's a hard one for me to explain to people, because people are so like dogmatic about it, and I'm just not, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I do remember Christ saying, "You have only one life to live as this person." So that leaves a wide open. And I also think too, with like the Council of Nicaea and all the different patriarchies that have taken over Christ's words, I feel like there's room for some, interpretation, if you will.
I think you always get into trouble in pretty much any context whenever you start trying to be super crazy literal about the words, considering that they were translated the amount of times that they were. It's like which translation are you even speaking about whenever you're saying that? Are we talking King James or King James? Are we talking and that's not even to consider the differences between the different religions.
Well, it's like what was it? The 500 years of silence, like. with no talking about Christ? I mean, there's like a whole time frame. And is it 500 or 200?
God, I have no idea.
I'm not sure what you're talking
And
about.
the thing is, like, then you go into the Council of Nicaea. That's something everybody needs to look up because it was Constantine combining pagan and Christian
Isn't
beliefs.
Constantine the devil?
No,
Constantine was an
he was emperor.
Oh,
So he combined these two religions that were.
we can cut that out.
You better cut that out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, people are like,
Cut that out. God.
the thing about that with that is that they were trying to get pagans to embrace the Christian religions. That's why the dates are wrong. Like Christmas was not really Christmas. Like people know already. Even Christians have embraced that.
I
Like
must. They have not.
Oh.
Embraced that. No, they have not. That drives me. That is a. We talk about pet peeves sometimes. Let me tell you, that drives me crazy. And I was. Have you ever seen Young Sheldon? Like the Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon.
oh yeah,
The
yeah.
show.
Okay, so anyways, that kid reminds me a lot of how I was at that age. I was raised with an atheist on one side and a Baptist on the other side.
Oh,
That's
wow,
quite the
really?
contrast.
Quite the contrast.
Wow.
And so, as a child, I feel like logic makes even more sense. Like it's hard to understand anything spiritually related. And so the atheist had the run of the land when it came to that. Very much appealed to my logic.
So what are you now?
Well, I grew up very much, like I was about to say, appealing to the logical side of things. And like, for example, he told me one time that I'll never forget that the Bible is a book of, it's a good book to teach you how to live, but it's a folk tale. It's fairy tales. Meanwhile, probably that weekend, I went to a Baptist church with my dad where I was with him. And so quite the different experience. But, shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
You were just saying how like, the thing about the dates.
Yes, the dates. So all I was saying is that whenever I was a kid, stuff like that, and still to this day, stuff like that drives me crazy about organized religion. It's not that complicated. That's not when he was born.
Yeah,
It's just not. That's not.
it's fine if we celebrate it that time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what the problem is, and just being like, this is not It's not an argument. It's just like, this isn't when they took censuses. This is not when. Like, this is verifiable information that the man was not born on December 25th. He just wasn't. And that's not a theological debate. Even.
I don't understand. But
So that kind of stuff, they lose me, and I feel like they lose people in general on, because you won't just. Why are we so strict about one thing and not strict about another? Why
Well,
are
that's just the world today with everything.
But the point
I
is,
mean-
how do you as a person who wants to believe but has doubts, and I say, well, like for example, Christmas, like isn't that the wrong date? No. Well, it is, and now I'm lost. Now I don't trust you anymore immediately out of the gate because you've lied to me right out of the gate, and I think that's a problem that pastors, that religions in general have. There's almost no effort to explain things. There's almost no effort.
Well, there's no effort. There's no room for debate with some things.
And a lot
It's
of
a
times-
dogmatic
Well,
viewpoint.
and a lot of times
I
some of
mean,
these
that's a
people
lot
that are-
easier too. You've got the Bible and you just go by it.
Yeah.
And there's no interpretation.
until it's not good for them. Until I say,
yeah,
well,
I mean-
that's anybody, I guess. I mean,
I'm just saying that it's difficult whenever you start trying to pigeonhole the
Yeah.
the text, because the text can be pigeonholed in whatever way you want to pigeonhole.
yeah.
them.
Well, that's why the whole Old Testament and the New Testament completely contrast each other.
contradict each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
right. Not to mention
completely
the parts that are
contradict.
missing that we found, the Dead Sea
Yeah.
Scrolls, and
that's just what we know of.
that's a whole nother right. So
Y'all are getting like really
real
deep into
theological.
this. Yeah.
But anyways,
I was going to ask you. I'm just going to change topics. It's not really changing topics, but how do you cleanse your energy field, like when you're after a session or whatever? Like how do you protect your energy from if someone comes in and does a session with you, or do you? Like does it,
I guess it's more just the.
or do you have to?
I mean,
Like
I do a lot of,
after a session,
I mean, I
do
do
you
silent
do a-
prayers. I mean, that's an ongoing thing. But I don't know. I just have this. So that's an ongoing thing. But I don't know. I just have this consistent faith that God has my back. So I don't really.
So you don't have to.
I mean, sage. Some people sage. Some people.
Well, that's what I was gonna
rose
say.
water is a good one. You can put rose water on. It's like a cleansing of your chakras. But I mean,
But what if you're talking to somebody and they have a lot of like dark entities or whatever? Like, do you do
sounds
like
a really tough session. Like, how do you?
do you
clear
do a
that out?
cord cutting? Do you do and
just have a glass of wine, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's really
I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like some pretty deep. I mean,
Yeah.
spirits and good and evil and
it
demons and
is.
angels.
It is. I guess because I keep the dark ones, like I keep them away from me. I guess like I don't really welcome them around me. I'm not aggressive with them. I just
You don't let them in your
think-
house. They're like a vampire. They don't.
pretty much.
Don't let them in.
Pretty much. I mean, they can still try. I mean, I've had them try. I've had them used by
Yeah.
kids' voices. I've had them do some little tricky little things, but it doesn't bother me. I don't know. I mean, I'm worn out after sessions a lot.
Well, yeah.
I'm just worn out, and it doesn't matter if it's
Were you worn out after you talked to me?
I'm worn out after every one of them. Every single one of them, I'm worn out.
Okay.
And it's like it's more of a emotional and I'm not an empath or anything, but it's like I'm exhausted because it's not as easy as
You're not empathic, really?
no, I'm not an empath.
Okay.
I have a lot of them come see me, but
Yeah.
I'm not one.
Okay.
No, I'm thankful that I'm not because that would be a lot.
Yeah, you would take on all of their.
I would
of
take
their
all the
stuff.
living and the spirits that are not in the bodies anymore because they don't like to be called dead because they're not dead.
So what like spiritual lessons do you feel like we are learning today? Like what's in the world today? Do you pick that up? Do you feel? Because I feel like it's definitely, good versus evil. I know it's always been good
It's
versus.
always good.
It's always
there are
been
no
that,
new,
but it feels.
there are no new sins, just new people committing them. Just remember
feels
that.
very prevalent.
It's
today.
It's people have said that. I think the reason it's probably more prevalent today is because we have social media and we
About it
can
more.
hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible
true.
human sacrifice, horrible stuff has been going on for
Forever.
millennia. I mean, it's been ongoing. It's just and it also depends on what it depends on what you pay attention to. Like
That's true.
some people don't even know the Epstein files came out. I mean, it's like there are people freaking out because they're like, are you
Yeah.
guys reading this? Like, this is insane. And
Yeah.
and there's people who are just like, what? And that's just, it just depends on how aware you are of what's
Yeah,
going on in the
where
world.
you want to put your focus. I
Right.
guess.
And so, I've kind of, there's always the negative and the positive. It doesn't matter what time it is. People always say, it's end times. I'm like, okay. It's end
that's
times every time.
Another thing that drives me crazy. is
Yeah.
that,
It's like, stop. They catastrophize, or they just, everything is like, oh, this year's already sucks and it's terrible.
One
and I'm
thing
like,
that people do every time.
Well, that's
that-
a mindset
If
for
there's
sure.
any natural disaster at all, it's like the Lord said there'll be an earthquake. It's like, there's earthquakes.
yeah.
There was a flock
Yeah.
of crows last week that was.
there's a flock of
And
crows.
people are like, back in the end,
I have a
back in the
stink
day,
bug in my
like-
house. It's the locust.
I mean, seriously, it's like, good Lord, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was 10 years ago, and 20, and 30, and 40.
It's every time.
I mean, my generation's lived through
There are
3
some
or 4
people who-
different.
I mean, you can live like that, and then you'll be like the most anxious person in the world. You'll be living under a rock, just like shaking because you're afraid that the world's going to end.
If you think about what Revelations is, it's to reveal, and it happens all the time.
It is creepy though. Have you ever read Revelations?
Of course.
Oh my gosh,
It's very
it's a
interesting.
lot.
Was that
Yeah.
very
Jesus'
interesting.
brother?
It's very symbolic.
What?
I think it was. Wasn't Jesus' brother? Didn't he write Revelations?
Jesus' brother?
Yeah.
I didn't know that Jesus,
Jesus had a brother.
Yeah. James.
No, I don't remember who.
Was it James? Yeah, it was
I don't
James.
remember who wrote it.
I think
I
it was
don't
his
know.
brother. He had
I
a
don't
little
know.
brother.
I did a whole study on that when I was in high school with my mom, and I just remember it terrified me.
Well, I will, just on a side note about what we were talking about before, I will say that I had that experience growing up. Like, I sat down with a pastor when I was like 8, and was like, "Why are the dinosaurs not in the Bible?" Like, we were like having those
Yeah.
kind of conversations. So, anyways, when I was in high school, I took a Bible class, and I actually thought that the approach that class took was the correct approach, which was like the ark, for example. Like, there is a petrified. Some say it's petrified wood, some say it's rock, but there is an ark of the exact dimensions of the one in the Bible.
well, there have been.
on top of a mountain, right where it's supposed to be.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
there's records of flooding. I mean,
yeah, there's records of flooding across every religion plus geographical But my point being is that, like,
Yeah.
to me, that seems like such a better approach to be like,
So you're taking the magic out of it.
Yeah,
And making it more understandable for people who say,
Well,
well,
it's
science
logical.
says, and
yes and no. I think that there's a magic that cannot be taken out of it. That's what I've understood as an adult now, is that things have happened to me as an adult that could not have happened any other way. You feel things at different times. You have experiences, and so now I feel more spiritual than I ever was whenever I was going to church. Whenever I was
But you're
growing up.
open to that. A lot of people they're not tuned into that. I mean, I am too. Like I can look at synchronicities and I can be aware of them and go, oh my God, I feel like this is something higher. Don't you
No,
feel
people
it?
definitely don't
and
see
then you
it,
can
yeah.
talk to somebody else
They
about
don't
it,
even-
and they'll go,
yeah.
no, it's just
No,
a
100%.
coincidence. I mean,
100%.
so
there's
it's
no
just,
such thing.
But
right. I mean,
Spirits told me that. No such thing as coincidences.
My point being is that there are things like that all over the place, and there are also hard, like for those people. Like I know you feel what you're feeling, but I know you're having trouble with the fact that Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. I know you're having trouble with that. Let me just confirm to you. That's the case. He was not born then. There was however you have to explain it. But
It's
the point being
clinging to things that aren't as important as what his message was, that's the thing.
Yes. So take a person like me who wants desperately to believe, and you turn me away because I won't believe something that's not true.
I mean, his
And
sacrifice.
it drives me crazy.
His sacrifice is what we're supposed to focus on, not
Yeah.
the dates or whether he was married or had kids or any of that. It's just, we're supposed to focus on his words and his sacrifice.
100%.
And too many people get caught up in the weeds on defending it or trying to fight it. And it's just like,
I mean, I just think you need to just allow it to like you hear it, and then you just don't like focus on so much about the details of it, just like you said. And I don't know.
It is remarkable, though, the amount of, like, sometimes things will happen right in front of people and they just don't even.
yeah.
It's like, well, you realize that was absolutely, like, could not have.
That was a miracle.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Literally.
I mean, a lot of people don't think that, but where are we now?
We're wrapping up. I do have
Okay.
one more. I do have a question. One other question. So,
I have a good lightning round.
and then we'll do our lightning round. When it comes to this kind of stuff, so I've kind of been in lightly playing devil's advocate. Like, if a person feels this way, if a person feels that way. The one that I want to ask you about, and I wanted to ask you about it last time. For some reason, I didn't put together until like this afternoon that you were who we were talking to today. So as soon as it clicked in my head, I was like, okay, and I
He
started.
was like, "Oh, Max coming."
Yeah, I started thinking about it. But when people associate, I'm trying to think about how to ask this, but when people associate you with crystal ball, lady
Turban.
with the turban
Yeah.
and the dark room,
Zoltar.
We just watched Big the other night. Yeah, the kids' night. And then my husband's always like, "There's your mom." Yeah.
I mean, based on the way you've described it, I can kind of imagine where you would go with this answer, but that's got to be a frustrating thing to deal with, I would think, because of how much it perverts what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And just to like address that head on, whenever people say, in those cases, oh, well, you're asking me very general questions and this kind of thing. How does what you do differ from that? And if somebody, I guess I'm trying to pop a balloon for that visual that people have.
Okay. So, well, first thing is like when they see me and I'm a mom in my 40s with kids and I live in a normal house in Franklin, kind of, that'll pop it.
Yeah.
Another thing is that's just like anything. It's a stereotype. And people can have that even like if someone is seeking Christ in their lives and all they picture is like, the Bible thumping, like you have to feel this way or you're not welcome. And
Right.
I think that like, I don't really talk about this part of me at church when I go. But like, I don't hide from it. If someone were to ask me, I would be truthful. I just don't talk about it because I don't want that stigma to be on me any more than, my pastor at my church wants that stigma on him. I would like them to know me first. That's why if someone were to approach me now because I've gotten to know all my people I volunteer with and everything at church, if they were to ask me, I would tell them the truth. I'd be like, I was born this way. It's just like anything. You're born a certain way. And if you're not born
then
that
it's
way.
up to that other person to accept it or not accept it.
And you don't have, and I'm not
that's-
even saying they have to come and see me or do any of it.
Right.
They just accept me for who I am. I've embraced this ability
Yeah.
and I've helped people with
You're
it.
being authentic about it.
And I still have a wonderful relationship with Christ. So I don't have any, I'm comfortable with it. I just don't go out and talk about it there because I don't want the controversy. I don't
Right.
want people to go,
Yeah, of course.
that sounds new age. I'm like, it's not. I'm a
And if
Christian.
somebody
I'm,
approaches with genuine curiosity like that, like filling them in, I think is
yeah, I mean, if they
well,
someone
the right
really like,
people come to you. The people
Right.
that
Yeah.
are drawn to you.
and I have
that are
tons
open
of friends
spiritually.
who've never inquired or wanted to do it, and
Yeah.
it's fine. You're still my friend. You have your own way of
Right.
doing things, and it's fine.
And so
Yeah.
when you see a place like that or a person like that, you just kind of look at that as like a typical, like with anything else, there's a stereotype. Like, I mean, with what I do, there's a stereotype.
I mean, there are
around
bad
content, you
people.
know?
This is the thing. If you were to go back in time, surgeons would have been considered evil. Pharmacies, like pharmacia, that's evil. It's all evil. Like if you go back in time, there's always some people, like I always say, there's doctors that are born who can operate on babies in the womb. And then there's doctors like Dr. Mingala. And I found out that Asperger was actually a Nazi. I found that out yesterday. A client told me that. Yeah. That he used to do experiments on people. I was like, oh my gosh, because I thought that was a name for part of being on the spectrum. No, apparently it was a doctor. So
Oh, wow.
you look at those people who were brilliant doctors, right? You think Mingala was a brilliant doctor. I mean, we still use his cures from his experiments on those poor people. But then you also look at doctors who currently operate on, unborn babies. It's like, that's a gift. They both had a gift. It's whether you use it for good or for evil.
Yeah.
Do you think that those people that are? Do you think that those people that do you think there's people that are masquerading as if they have the gift in those cases and have figured out the right questions to get?
Yeah,
like,
I think there's a lot of people that do
do you
that.
think that that's what's going on? Like, because I'm trying to visualize. I mean, like, I would think that, let's say, like you, for example, you're talking about your mother or your father, or in any of those cases. To me, it feels very. And what I'm trying to say is that this shines a bad light on what you actually do. But for the people that do it that way, it seems extremely exploitative and really messed up to like have somebody grieving in front of you and be like, and just give them really general stuff just because
People do that all the time.
that they're going to feel better about it. And
There's-
that's just got to be a frustrating thing for something that's already kind of.
I think that because I'm not commercialized, I don't advertise,
You're not
I don't,
that way.
then people who come to me already are coming to me from someone else who's already had that
Right,
experience.
right.
And
So you don't have to
it's-
worry about that too much.
And it's usually, and I always tell people, I'm like,
I mean, there's frauds everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
So
it's a
always-
simple question. It's a very general question, but I guess it's a dumb question whenever I think about it. It's like I'm asking you,
So
would it be
here's
better for
here's
you?
a good question. Like, if you go in to a session and you don't pick up anything, would
Yeah.
you?
Do you feel an
no one
obligation to
comes
tell them
through.
something?
Yeah.
no, that's
Would you
that's-
say,
the only
nothing's
time
coming
that ever
through?
happened? I think that's like literally 2 times, and one of them was I found out later. I mean, I was getting stuff that was accurate, and she wasn't seeing it. Does that make sense? Like when I do a session, I have my rules. Everyone who's ever been in front of me knows this. I ask you to say yes, no, or I don't know. Please do not elaborate to me because I want
Yeah.
to.
Figure
I
it
want
out.
to verify and authenticate myself. Like I'm not a fraud.
Yeah, of course.
Even if you've been referred by someone, that doesn't matter. I still want this. There's going to be things that I know that there's no way I would know unless I was actually speaking with.
Right. That's hard for some people. They want to.
Well, and then you got the other parts. They say, "Oh, the devil knows everything too," and I'm like,
oh God.
"Yeah."
Well,
You know everything, to be fair.
But
You
if
didn't-
but if no one comes through, then what do you
I
just
don't
say?
typically have nobody come through.
Okay.
Typically, it's somebody comes through. Sometimes they don't recognize who they are, and because it could
you
be.
always see it's always people.
Oh yeah, people and animals, yeah, like pets and things. I get a lot of different.
And if we were doing and this again maybe oversimplifying it, but if we're having a session, if we're doing
There's a man in here right now who smokes cigars.
okay.
I don't know if he lived.
Shut up.
I don't know if he lived here.
So are you physically seeing him sitting?
Yes, I can see him.
Sitting,
He's-
standing. Like where is he in the room?
He's got facial hair. He's in this
Or do
side
you
of the
just,
room.
You're seeing a visual of him, or is he?
It's hard to explain.
Does he want to come
Yeah.
on and talk?
No,
And I'm not trying to like ask a dumb question or anything. I'm just trying to visualize.
I
it.
know where he is in the room. I just know that.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? I'm watching Daredevil right now, and I know this is so off the wall, but he's blind, and he describes the way that
Ben Affleck?
well, not the one that I'm watching, but the show. It's,
Oh,
anyways,
okay.
He describes it's really interesting to think about because it's kind of the whole time you've been talking, I've been thinking about it because I'm watching it right now about how he's blind, but he can see.
Yeah.
Like he can't.
That's exactly. It's not in my. These are your. There's your.
So he's just hanging out.
Sixth
He's
sense
just
is-
like standing over there hanging out.
I think he's
creeper?
actually. I thought he might have been with the house, but he might actually be with you because you said you're. That's another thing. I always tell people when I do sessions.
Well,
I
wait,
get
I
all
did.
of them-
Okay, hold up. I did have an uncle that smoked cigars.
Did he have facial hair?
No.
So it's somebody else. That's the thing. I'm not going to make it
crazy.
fit for anyone. It's like it could be someone related to you. It could be someone that like lived in this home. I mean, it just depends. And when you have more than one person in front of you, and people always think it's what this one, they're obsessed with this one person coming in and they're fixated on it,
Right.
or they try to make everything fit to this one person. I'm like, it could be a totally different. It could be literally. This is an old house.
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
so
this house has been around forever.
it doesn't. It would get deeper and deeper as I went. Like he would give me more details about himself, and I would see like maybe more what era he's from.
Mm-hmm. What's the energy in here? Like when you walked in. Can you
There's nothing dark in here. I'm nothing like that's.
do you feel the energy with us like when we're together, or do you?
I feel
Yeah.
energy everywhere. I can always tell. Like the one thing I will say, I can always tell when like something's off energetically in the world or energetically in a place. Like the day before 9/11, I told my mom I knew something was going to happen. Like I just feel it's like an energy. It's like, and it's not always like end of the world. It's just like I feel something is off, and people. It could be people panicking about something. It could be just in general. I don't know, but it.
Energy a lot of times to me has almost a taste. I don't know how to describe it other than that for myself, but like it's almost like a taste in my mouth, or like sometimes it's a color too for whatever reason. But I've always felt like I have a pretty high radar for energy like that, and I also grew up in a chaotic household, so I had hypervigilance that was developed early on, and this kind of thing. But I think it's always interesting whenever people don't have any sense for energy at all, or any sense for.
Well, they're just
know.
they're just not aware. I mean, it's just
There's a cat in here too.
Yeah, that ain't me. I'm allergic.
there's a cat.
But
It's
anyways,
like a grayish colored cat.
Oh, gray and white.
Yeah, it's like a light colored cat over here and here. And there's also like a pit bull mix dog.
No, I didn't have that, but I did have a gray and white cat. She got taken out by a bobcat.
Ew.
A bobcat?
Yeah.
Might have been a
Rough.
coyote, yeah. So
Rough.
Bobcat.
Okay, do your lightning round. I'll just keep asking
Okay.
questions all day long. Keep going.
what's the lightning round?
Okay, these are.
We're gonna give you light electrical shocks. And
Yay! What's the best movie you've ever seen,
Oh.
or just your most favorite movie that just comes to mind?
You asked me this last time.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you again.
Okay. I don't know, Titanic, I guess. I love that movie.
Okay.
I like the outfits.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember about it.
I mean, there's a lot of movies I like, but that in particular.
That one just like stands out.
Yeah, because it was like one of those ones that I can watch over and over, and I just love it.
Yes. I liked Pan's Labyrinth. That time.
That was a weird movie.
Oh my god.
It was pretty wild, though.
So good.
I remember watching that.
And you watch it over and over, and it's like I just.
Yeah, but you
keep
have to
getting-
watch it because it's in subtitles.
I know. So good. What's a hobby that you maybe took up as an adult?
Listening to spirits.
we just talked about one of them.
Yeah, but that's not really. I mean, like a hobby. Like
Hobby.
It's not as high as stakes.
yeah.
as listening to spirits.
I mean, gardening or
I do. I mean, I guess I got-
crochet.
I don't have time for a hobby. I work out, and
Yeah.
then I work, and then I do sessions, and I take care of my kids. And a lot of times my husband's gone, so therefore not a lot of room for hobby. Reading smut. I've been into that.
There you
the
go.
romantasy, fantasy
See?
stuff lately.
Reading smut.
But I've always been a reader. It's just like
Hilarious.
there was a whole section of my life where all I could do was listen to audiobook, and now I can do that. But I also can sit and
Yes.
read because my kids are a little older, and so I would say probably reading my like my-
Bridgerton stuff. That kind of stuff.
well, it's
It's a little more.
Sounds like it's a
A
little,
little more
deep-
soft porn than that.
A little darker than Bridgerton.
It would depends. Like the Court of Thorns and Roses is probably more Bridgerton type fantasy stuff, but I don't know,
All
some of
right.
the stuff I've been reading, I'm like, what am I reading?
She's
But I'm in a book
What
club.
am I reading without my wine?
I'm in my smutty book
That's
club.
hilarious.
What are 3 words to describe you? Just 3.
Mom, medium, travel advisor. I don't know. It's 3, just 3. There's I got lots. A wife.
I was thinking more like adjectives, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
not titles, like
Yeah.
characteristics,
What?
like
Oh
personality.
gosh,
Who
I
are
don't
you?
know. I
Oh
don't
my
like doing
God, I will
that.
say,
You say what I am. You're an objective.
Extrovert.
Yes. Talkative.
That goes with extrovert.
Not shy.
I was gonna say confident.
Happy.
Confident. That's a good one. I like that.
Very
Happy.
confident.
Self-assured. That's another word for confident,
Funny.
but I would say self-assured as well.
Am I funny?
Yes. You are funny.
That's an achievement.
Well, we're not.
I'm always happy when you're there and we're working out. I'm always sad. I'm like, is Meg coming? Is Meg coming?
Because I'm funny.
Yeah. You are funny. What's your biggest pet peeve? Or a pet peeve?
Oh, well, now that I've been traveling more, let me just tell you. People, when you're sitting there in the airport and there's a bunch of seats and they're full, your luggage doesn't need its own seat.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need its own seat. And when
Well,
you land,
they don't want you to
when
sit-
you land and the stewardess gets on there and it's like, hey guys, there's a lot of people with really tight connections. Can we let them get up and go first? And they'll name, there's 11 of you. And then 30 people stand up and go and walk out. You're not one of those 11.
Yes.
Are we understanding each other? Oh, and when you go to pick up your luggage, do not stand right there. This is my husband's thing too. Do not stand right there where the luggage is coming out because there are people who have to go, excuse me, and move your ass so they can grab their luggage because you're standing there. If you stand back about 5 feet, you'll say, oh, there's my luggage. Walk up, pull your luggage off. Then other people can walk up and get theirs.
Yes.
Because you're not standing there like a big block.
Yes, sister. We got a lot of energy from you just then.
Those are my pet. Well, I'm hoping people will listen to me when I say these things because
She means it.
this
why
is
you asked
where
that, is to
I need to do more of travel podcasts because I'm like, this is people. These are important things. Go ahead.
100%. What's one daily ritual that you do? Just one thing that you always do during the day, like a cup of coffee or something like that.
Cup of coffee. I mean,
I just
there's
gave
a lot
that
of them.
example. There's no.
Cup of coffee and probably exercise.
Okay.
I try to do something every day.
Okay. If you could speak to your younger self, what is one piece of advice you would give?
Be patient.
Patience. Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Probably more night owl.
What's your spirit animal?
Oh, there's been many. They change sometimes.
It's a loaded question to ask her.
Spirit
That is a
animal?
loaded question for
Yeah,
us,
you
for
should-
a
you should have asked her
spiritually
that.
active person. I mean,
Just throw one out. What's the first one you
That's
think
like-
of?
oh,
What is it currently? How about that?
Yeah. Isn't a spirit animal one that you see all the time?
it can be.
Or you just
for
one
a
that,
little while it was a stink bug. I'm not even kidding. It was a stink bug. And Tamby, my Reiki
God.
teacher, she was like, there's, and I think she's the one who looked it up. There's like a reason when you see something a lot, or it's like, because there's a stink bug in my car at that time. And I kept seeing stink
Okay,
bugs
we
everywhere.
can't end this on you're a stink bug. Like your spirit animal's a stink
animal.
bug.
Sorry, if you could just give us a different answer.
Just give us a different one.
We gotta have something.
because it's been so many. I think well, it's been like, I mean, for a while it was an owl, but then,
You were talking about a weird thing. I knew you were going to say that. I swear to God, I did.
I mean, there's been and owls are actually kind of dopey, which people don't realize. They're always considered like smart. But I think, I don't know.
All right, we can stick with stink bug. It's all right.
No, it's not stink bug right now. It's been other things. There was a time where it was a blue jay, but they can be kind of aggressive. So I was like, I didn't
Okay.
really like that.
Yes. What about just a red bird?
What's yours?
Flipped it around on you.
Yeah,
I would
flip that.
say a fox.
I love that one.
You kind of look like a fox. That matches you.
That actually
I?
does. Or
Yeah.
a mountain cur dog. You got that.
Did you just point to my nose?
No, it's the eyes. It's like,
She said,
look at a
"What?"
mountain cur, go look it up, and tell me it doesn't have a similarity with her eyes. My neighbor, who has a mountain cur, looks like her mountain cur. because she has the same kind of like almond eyes.
Mountain cur.
Yeah, it's a dog.
Jesus.
know a lot of
now look what
dogs.
you've done. Look what you've done now.
I mean, honestly, really?
Yeah.
I'll look
While
it
she's
up.
looking that up, if you would just look right over here and just tell everybody where they can find you and whatnot as we wrap up here.
Oh, well, hang on. So if you say where they can find me, I don't.
Like socials
Sort
and
of
stuff.
travel stuff is more where.
Yeah, like just wherever you want them to follow.
We talk spirituality, so
Either or, whatever you
I
want.
guess I could follow me on social media, I suppose.
Is that
As long as
whatever you
their like title isn't like 27 like
letters. And,
alphabet letters that
Yeah.
are from a foreign country.
Yeah, no,
and I'm
we're
like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, no,
it's
we're
not
good.
normal.
I don't know.
But that doesn't even. No, that's not even close to what like I've seen. Okay,
You're good.
It's cute.
Megan Fox, and you can follow me at Megan LMV Travels.
Yep.
I think isn't that my handle?
Yeah.
I can't remember. At Megan LMV Travels, and that's my Instagram. But we also have our www.lmbtravels.com, and you can find me and my team there.
What's the website for the Medium?
That is actually foxhypnoandhealing.com. I think it's Fox Hypno and Healing or foxhypno.com.
Should have gotten this all down, girl.
I should have gotten it down. Sorry, people, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
She's
you
doing
can
the
find
best
me.
she can. She
you
can-
can
you
find
can
me
find
if you
her.
go. If you find Megan,
She's the other Megan Fox.
yeah. If you find Megan Tewksbury Fox or at Megan LMV Travels, you'll probably find. You can get in
You'll
touch
find
with
her.
me either
Or
way.
go to Lifetime and you'll see her like shaking hands, pressing flesh with everybody. At
Or that.
Lifetime. Yeah.
or anywhere else for that matter. My kid's school, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we're done.
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.